sending a message to the world, and we are sending a message to our brothers and sisters in Palestine. It is the Trump administration that has insisted that they will only accept the full ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people.
You know, most people think that they don't know anyone who will go through this or who is at risk.
To happen so suddenly and to find out that they had already been essentially ripped away from school and from the community and actually had to physically leave the country, yeah, is really terrifying.
They think that they can arrest, abduct, threaten to deport student leaders, Palestinian leaders like Mahmoud Khalil. They think that that will make us afraid. They think that that will make us stay home. They think that that will make us accept the horrific bombing campaign.
On March 8th, 2025, Secretary of State Marco Rubio signed off on the illegal arrest of Mahmoud Khalil, a Palestinian graduate student at Columbia University and legal permanent resident of the United States.
ICE agents have arrested a Palestinian activist who helped lead last year's protests at Columbia University.
I understand. He's not resisting. Don't worry about it. You're going to have to come with us. Can we get your name? I understand the lawyer is asking for your name. The lawyer's asking for your name. She's saying...
Mahmoud Khalil's attorney says the agents said the former graduate student's green card was being revoked.
His only crime? Speaking out against Israel's ongoing genocide in Gaza, and by extension, the U.S.'s imperial vision there. Since Khalil's arrest, dozens others have been targeted by Donald Trump and the United States. Some deported, some detained, and some having their visas revoked. One such victim is Ranjani Srinivasan, a fellow Columbia University graduate student and adjunct faculty member at the NYU Wagner School of Public Service. After having their student visa revoked and their university-owned apartment visited by ICE agents, Ranjani fled to Canada and has since been the target of xenophobic abuse online and by White House officials.
Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem said that you are a terrorist sympathizer.
I mean, I just found it absurd. I'm not a terrorist sympathizer.
As Americans continue to grapple with this ongoing crackdown on political dissent and free speech, we wanted to continue to share Ranjani's story. So we spoke to former students of theirs to get their thoughts.
Hi, I'm Leah, and I'm a master's student at NYU Wagner.
My name is Cree.
My name is Maggie Davies.
I'm Zoe. I'm a grad student at NYU Wagner.
Yeah, Professor Ranjani was my professor for history and theory of planning last semester, and they honestly taught my favorite class of this semester.
The class was definitely one of the most challenging classes I took last semester, but also in a good way where it definitely challenged sort of my perspectives and what I thought I knew about urban planning.
Ranjani, the way that they structured the course, provided a lot of thought-provoking readings and
was a lot of room for discussions in the class and kind of room for debate too.
Tell me what your first reaction was when you found out that they had gotten their visa revoked and went to Canada.
Yeah, I felt really overwhelmed and sad.
I think the first was definitely anger and frustration.
I mean, definitely just complete shock. It's obviously still been horrifying what's been happening with the Columbia students, but to have it be somebody that I knew and know was just completely unbelievable.
I mean, they were on the last home stretch of their PhD, and I think it's really disgusting the way that they were treated by Columbia in terms of losing all that work they had done and having to leave a community that they had built for themselves here and leave the country entirely.
Everything happened so fast. It felt like we just had them first semester, and then now, now it's this, they're in a completely different stage in their life. I don't know, I think it just shows how fast things can move.
I mean, in a lot of ways, it definitely just makes me feel even more invigorated to be politically active, especially because I am a U.S. citizen, and that is a privilege at this point that people who are on visa don't necessarily have.
I know for me, I'm an American citizen. I was born and raised here. I'm not shutting up, so that's my privilege as an American. I will not stop talking about what is right and human rights, and I think that's what a lot of people should do who have that privilege.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is a freedom of speech issue, and this is a democracy issue, and this is a safety issue of who is able to live and exist in this country.
I think people deserve to be outraged right now. I think to the extent that people can, they should protest and get in contact with their elected representatives and hold those people accountable. Because the message that's being sent right now is any speech that's critical of the current administration is not protected. No matter who you are, it doesn't even matter if you are a visa holder, if you're a citizen. Anything that you might do today or tomorrow might be at risk.
What does it feel like to see like these videos or like people that don't know Ranjani commenting about like calling them a terrorist and stuff like that just on Twitter or on like the internet?
Yeah, I think it's really disgusting. I think that people have a really horrible tendency to judge and assume the worst of people without knowing anything about them. And I think it's really scary that, you know, federal employees are sharing videos of people and then using those videos to target them and build this base of hatred and violence around them as a justification for these deportations and suspensions of students as well. I think it's really messed up and really frustrating and scary.
Yeah, it's really terrifying, and reading the news stories was really angering as well because they painted Ranjani as a terrorist, and that's what they're getting labeled as by the administration.
The people who are behind these deportations and everything, they think that you don't care, and they think that you probably think you don't know anybody who will or who might be already going through this. And then also, you know, I'm aware of people who are organizing on college campuses and elsewhere for the Free Palestine movement. That's just the headline today, but you know, there might be any issue tomorrow that you care about and you speak on that you could be targeted for in the future. So it's a very dark message that's being sent.
Yeah, I want to encourage other people to speak up, I guess. This video started from just a group of us in our group chat of other students talking about what happened and trying to figure out what to do about it. And I think all of us have that ability within our own communities. And that is the best place to start, is talking to people you know and trying to figure out what kind of action you can take and what you really care about. And letting that not just be through social media, but figuring out a way to get involved in person. Because all of us can do something. So, yeah.